Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another video. It's been a while. Today we're gonna try this thing of recording directly on the phone, but also I'm gonna show you how to do a very neat and nice Islamic pattern cutout from the hexagonal prism. So first things first, I'm gonna start here with my rectangular piece of paper here. I'm gonna start by folding the paper in half, unfolding, and refolding this. Well, not refold, but it's a half fold again, so it's a do-over kind of thing. And now I'm going to use that point as an anchor. I'm going to take my piece of paper here, I'm going to take the vertex of my rectangle, and I'm going to put that on the fold line there. So just about, right about there, boom, and there we go. And what I want is for my fold to come exactly from that point. I gotta pull it up a little bit. You can also fold this back in a mountain fold fashion. This will help you see or feel a little bit better as to where, the line is, right? You can do this the other way too. I mean, it doesn't make a difference what it is right now, as long as you can see there it is. Use a little bit more, and there we go. Precision is important, but it won't break it, but whatever, All right, so we can unfold this. Now we can take this vertex and match it to there also. Yeah, so because they have the same origin point, they should be, looking very spiky. This doesn't look so spiky, so whatever. Again, the intention seems to be what matters. These two triangles are similar, and so will this one be. What's nice about this method is that it doesn't matter what rectangle you use, but you have to start with a rectangle for this method, so this will not work with a square. So now we have three similar triangles, but we have this one with a little bit of a fold there, as you can see. I'm going to activate that fold and fold it. I'm going to get that, then open that up, and then fold this edge onto this fold right there. And so that'll give me a hexagon. And so I have to cut away these edges now. So let me go ahead and do that. So really going to drive in that nail. Notice that I'm turning the paper over in order to get mountain folds. Mountain and valley folds on the same line. This will weaken the fold line. This will make it easier for us to cut at it, but we're not guaranteed a clean cut. But if we regard this over using a knife or a ruler, I think this is better, because when we use knives or scissors, we're overimposing what we see with what is, and when we fold and cut away at it, we're actually cutting where the fold is, so that's the difference. Alright, so let me just make sure I'm centered here. That's good. Hope you can hear me okay. We're trying out some new things. So I'm going to fold these lines in one direction, so I'm using it, I'm orienting myself in such a way that fold and this fold are the same. So 1, 2, and here. And here's 3. So yeah, clearly something is up because this is not lining up right, but it'll be fine. Open this up. you can see we have now 3 mountains. I'm going to put a valley between them. So I face this up in the mountain way, and then I fold this to go up from vertex to vertex. That's 1. Two. And 3. So now I have a hexagon that's divided in 6-fold. 6-fold because from the center there are 6 mountain lines and 6 valley lines. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now I'm going to turn over just to where this line that goes from the center to the midpoint of the edge, that line is a mountain. This is so it's easier to see. I lift this paper up like so. You can see that my vertices are landing exactly on both of these points. And then that's 1, and then over here down as well. So it cuts it into thirds, so it's 1 bit, 2 bit, 3 bit. And we're going to go ahead and do that for all of them. So 1, so each of them is going to have 2 folds, right? Because 2 lines make up 3 segments. 1, 2, 3. And as you move along, some lines are actually going to match up. Like for instance, when I do this fold now, it's actually going to match up to that line, see? So as we move along, it's actually going to become easier and easier. So that's 3 done. Again, I can support myself on the line that I have there, just making sure that everything matches. 1, 2, 3. And there we go. So as you can see, all these lines that I've put in are the same line. And now what I'm going to do, so I'm going to draw in some lines which are going to be valleys. It's going to be this line, and all the way out. So I'm going to use this as my sort of guide in a way. It's going to be the basis of the structure, because we are going to have a structure, but we're going to turn that into a cutout base. So these lines that I put in are all going to be valleys. So it's a valley. I'm going to turn it over, even though that you can't see, but you can see that I'm pinching it. Pinch. Pinch, pinch. So now with this structure, you can see that all 6 of them kind of have this movement that it can do. So the idea is to put these points, points in between this segment right there, those 6 points on the center at the same time. So as we do this is going to spin. So I'm going to choose, I'm going to go counterclockwise. Or is this, yeah, is this counterclockwise? So you can see they all kind of very nicely just fall. I'm sorry for the audio, the echo must be pretty bad, and this is just my suspicion because that's the experience I have with this area that I'm recording in. But, you know, if you want to support me, so you can put in some things for the echo, then you can head on over to patreon.com/kamikidai. So anyway, we have this structure now. This looks like a star, and so now we can lift these up like that. 1, 2. Just lift and pull inside. So I'm opening. I'm taking this corner and putting it inside, and then I close. Opening, putting it inside. Opening, putting it inside. And then I open these, put it, close. Open, put it, close. And you see that it's sort of hugging each other. So that's what's going to give it its rigidity. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then the last one, of course, take advantage, this is paper. We're going to sort of twist it and begin to push it. And so this is the hexagonal prism. This thing we can open it up like this and we can twist it, right? We can open that and we can then sort of descend the other way. And because it's all hugging here, it will sort of hold up, sort of. So we get this, right? So now we're gonna use this as a basis for a cutout, or for an Islamic pattern design in general. So we're gonna return to this mode where everything's flat. And what we're going to do next is we're gonna take the edges. So it's like these lines that are on the outside, right here, these lines. Right, we're gonna take the edges and we're gonna put those on these lines, on these midpoints. So each of them gets 2. Here's how this looks. So we're gonna take this and gonna put it to there, like this, and we're gonna put it to there. Now you're gonna need some paper that overlaps nicely. Also, we only need to care, well, because we're gonna cut this out, we only care about this top layer. So don't worry about this layer on the bottom. Just as long as you can put a clean fold on the top layer, that should be okay. So as you can see, this fold, this edge lands on that fold, and it can also land over here. No, actually, no, it's there, and also it's there. Yeah, this one. So as you can see, I'm only worried about this bottom, this like top line. So let me just get another pencil, another color, so I can distinguish that. And I'm gonna really drive it in to also distinguish it. So we're gonna see these folds that's coming up. So it's this line, it's that line, and we're gonna move along. So that line here, gets a match on there, right? This line gets a match on here. This fold can also get a match for this fold. So yeah, each edge, 2 lines. So yeah, like this. You can see how these even touch at the edge, so that's also a clue that we're on the right track. See that this match is there, so that's what's going to happen, right? That's done, so now we move on to the edge. Missing that one. All right, cool. So we have the star that we wanted, that we sort of looking for. Wait a minute. There we go. And so now what we select is just this cross. So just the cross inside of this division that we got. We only care about this cross. Okay? So we get that cross, and so we got to be very, very careful just to understand that it's inside of this same sort of rhombic division, right? You can see that inside of each of them there's going to be a cross. So this one, this cross, cross, cross. You can see that each cross kind of touches the other one. Across there, across here, goes up. And goes up like that. So in a way we can take away the lines that are not part of the crosses, because we're not going to use them at all. We're going to actually actively ignore them, at least for this pattern. You can also try and play around with them and select different lines and whatnot, and see how you do. Right now we're going to care only about this pattern. So this is the sequence that we're going to replicate. This is the sequence that we're going to spread. So now we're going to draw in a little offset. So we want to just make it sure that it's proper thick. So I'm using like this distance. So I kind of it's an eyeball thing, but you have to just see that, for instance, when you go for the offset, that this line is parallel to these two lines have to be parallel. They have to be together. They have to come in and look that they're side by side. And you can even go all out until the next intersection there. And so you want these two to have the same distance, and this one's going to go there, and this one's going to go here. I'm going to go up, hitting at an intersection, hitting at an intersection, intersection, intersection. And this one crosses up, up. This one we didn't give it, yeah, there. So this is a very, very rough estimate, right? So I'm going to cut away this shape. I'm going to cut out. I'm going to cut out this shape, this shape. Yeah, I'm just going to do it. But yeah, these are the shapes that I'm going to cut out, sort of what's inside of these negative spaces. So I'm going to cut away that. So I have here my cutting board, my trusty cutting board. And now I'm just going to cut away at those. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more here. Kind of grainy. All right, we got a couple minutes left. Let's do it. Of course, you can also just take into account that we can just use the folds themselves and unfold it, and just, not the negative space of the offset, just the folds themselves will be the pattern that we're sort of cutting away at. Technically speaking, but because also of the overlap and how many layers we're folding at the same time, there might be some inaccuracies done. So this is perhaps why it may be better to just use this approach for this particular extension. For smaller extensions of the same pattern, because we know what we need to do to a single tile, so as long as we can have hexagons piled on top of each other, we can apply this fold and it'll create this sequence. There's also other tiles that we can sort of try and overlap and see and we might get into that at some other point, but there is a way to get different arrangements of this tile in other polygonal configurations. Yeah, well, this one's a lot of fun. Almost looks like a snowflake, doesn't it? Now the hexagon inside, hexagram, I should say. And you're gonna need a sharp knife for this. Like I would recommend not to use a dull knife, but paper will wear out your knife pretty quick. So yeah, just be mindful of that fact. All right. So now we can see what this is going to do. Well, first off, we get that actually this can work as a 3D structure, because that's what we started with. This actually works really nice to see how you can even get a four-sided idea there. Kind of interesting. But if we open this up, we get that arrangement. So of course, if you make more of them, they will look much better. It's pretty cool, right? So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had fun. Give it a try, and if not, well, yeah, just hope you enjoyed it. So have a good time, everybody. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you all next time. Take care, and bye-bye.